How to get the listing.
Yeah, let's talk about how to get the listing, and then once you've got it, what do you do? Because there's a ton of work to do to get it, and once you've got it, the first time I came home, I said, "Hey, Jen, I got a listing, and I was so excited. She says, "Well, who cares? When are you going to sell it? You've now got a liability. You just took on a liability. You just took on an assignment from a seller that's got a bunch of emotions. They probably got $1 million property, or 1.3, 1.2. For them, it's their livelihood. And their only question is, when are you going to sell it? You know, they don't want to hear about all the stuff we're going to talk about right now, which is going to build your business and also reach their goals. So we're going to cover quite a bit of stuff today. The way I teach, I go through a lot of real life stories of things to do and what not to do. And I'm pretty doggone transparent of what not to do because I've done all the things wrong and I've been lucky enough to do a few things right. But we're going to cover quite a bit of stuff today. The way I think about Ignite is, and the way I think about my business is it's two-fisted. What you've got to do all the time, whether you've got a listing right now or not, is you've got to continue to generate leads, right? So the first part of Ignite was, what's your why? And why do you want to do this? The second part was, what are the ways you're going to generate leads? Now, have you guys written down what's your favorite way to generate leads? Do you have that on a piece of paper somewhere called My Personal Business Plan? This is how I am going to focus on generating leads. If not, you should make that decision. That's okay if you don't, but if I was in your shoes, I would write that down. I would say, these are the 3 ways I'm going to generate leads. Do you know why I would do that?
So you remember it and you get to it.
Yeah, and then I can measure it. And the other thing, there's about 8,000 ways to generate leads. And people will call you and say, "Hey, do you want to join me at Farmer's Market this Saturday?" No, I don't. And some people may say, "Yes, I do." It should be a conscious decision. It shouldn't be by default. The reason I don't want to is I've done it before. It's not my style. It doesn't work for me. My style is open houses. So if you'd call me and say, "Do you want to do an open house for me this weekend?" I would say yes, because I don't have one to do. I have a strategy to do them. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about why you want that listing and how you're going to execute during that time of the listing to get more leads. So the first thing is, how am I going to generate leads? You should have those written down. You should have them written down. What's my first way I'm going to generate leads? Number 1. What's my second way I'm going to generate leads after I've exhausted that? And what's my third way I'm going to generate leads? So, does everybody know Jen Malakoff from the Livermore office? She's one of our very senior agents. Her systems and models are impeccable. If it's Tuesday morning at 10 a.m., she knows exactly what she's doing. And she knows how she's going to handle herself through the day, how she's going to get new leads, how she's going to get listings, if she's going to go after a buyer or not. Her yes means yes and her no means no, because she knows her business and she's made good decisions on it. If she was here, she'd say, "No, Rob, I only have 1 way to generate leads." Now, Ignite says pick 3. She says, "I book all of my business around here, and I'm very good at this. And this is all I focus on." And her answer is open houses. And her answer is to get listings and get her next leads through those listings. So have that written down. Come up with the way you want to do that. Most people don't put a lot of conscious thought into finding a way to get leads the way they like to do them. So I can't emphasize enough, this is a 2-part job. And if you have fun in this part, you're going to be a great realtor. If you don't enjoy what you're doing here, you're going to have a hard time getting down through the rest of that. And what you'll do is, what a lot of people do is they'll get 1 lead, and then they'll follow it down through here, and hopefully they get all the way through close of escrow. So this is, you get an appointment with that lead, you get an agreement, could be a buyer's agreement or a listing agreement. You actually get into contract, and then you project manage to get to close of escrow. And while you do all that, you let your lead business drop. And then you got to start all the way over while you're cold. You can't do that. You got to be able to do those simultaneously at the same time. Does that make sense? Are you with me, Gabe? All right. Okay. I'm going to go right to the basics of You guys covered last time, actually you covered 2 times ago, how to get the lead and get the listing appointment itself. I'm going to talk about today as how do you get the home sold. So you've got the lead in your hand, you've got the agreement. The person says, yeah, I want to work with you, that's great. So now you have a listing agreement, and that listing agreement says what? Says I'm going to list your house. Talks about a price. It talks about a date. I'm going to start on such and such date. Now, if you go to an appointment today and you get a listing agreement and the guy says, yeah, I want to work with you. What date are you going to put on that listing agreement?
A week after. A week after the day.
You may put today, you may put a week after, you may put 2 months from now. I have a listing agreement right now that's scheduled to start in February 12th. Why?
Buyer's needs or seller's
Yeah,
needs.
exactly. Exactly. No, actually, we're not doing anything. That's when he wants to sell it. So the point is, when you get in that listing agreement, that listing meeting, listen to what the sellers are wanting to do. What's their why? We want to sell our home at top dollar. We think we need to do this. Our daughter's going to be here throughout college. We really need to be here in the home throughout the holidays, and we'd like to sell it in January. What do you think? Okay. You can sell it in January. We'll close that meeting right now. And you know what I'm doing for them right now? I'm soft marketing that listing for them. So I'll do it to you guys right now. It's in Dublin. It's 3,500 square feet. It'll go for about $1 million, and we're going to list it in February. If you got some buyers for that, let us know. So I can sign that. So I have an agreement that says we're in contract right now, and then you put out an SLEM form that says we're not going to put it on the MLS until February 12th. So I have a contract that says we're going to stick a for sale sign in your front yard on February 12th or sooner. In the meantime, we know that I'm going to be talking about your home, and if somebody's interested in it, we'll figure that out as we cross that bridge. Okay? So as you get that listing, a couple other things you should be talking about with that client. And the first one is that every house is unique. You know, every listing that you're going to take is different. I mean, so there's a set of steps that we're going to go through here, but each one's different. When I'm talking to a client, I always want everybody to feel they're individual. They have very specific goals, and we're going to answer their goals. So you can sit with everybody and go, there's a 12-step process to get your home sold. How does that make you feel? Well, maybe my home's a little different than the one you sold last night. Maybe this isn't a condo. Maybe this isn't a townhome. Maybe this isn't the 3-bedroom, 2-bath that you just sold. Maybe you do inspections on mine and I have $10,000 worth of Section 1 that we need to deal with. And the last one was squeaky clean. Maybe we should paint mine. Every house is different. Every family is different. So I think note one is everybody deserves a customized strategy to get their home sold. So you become a project manager. After you have that listing appointment and you get the contract, go home and celebrate for at least 10 minutes. You just did something that a lot of agents didn't pull off. Now it's time to put your project management hat on and get to work. So I need to build a customized plan for you. So during that listing appointment, you talked about what was the why of the seller. Why do you guys want to sell? Well, we're moving to Oklahoma. Okay, well, why? Well, all of our kids are gone and our family's back there and we're getting out of California and we're going to go to Oklahoma. Okay, great. Well, when do you want to move? Well, gosh, the sooner the better, but, we'd like to be in the peak of the market and, we've done our own homework. Most clients have. Your job now is to be smarter than your client in those meetings. They think they know the price of their home. They're going to have a Zillow number there for you. You need to combat that. How many times in your career has Zillow been right? Answer is 0. Why are they not right? How can I say that so confidently? Because the number is made off of a national database. The number doesn't know Livermore, California. It doesn't know San Ramon. It doesn't know Fremont. It doesn't know Morgan Hill. It doesn't know the difference between any of those markets. It hasn't factored in the interest rate that changed 14 days ago. It didn't factor in the comps that are pending now. So the number's wrong. I'm being facetious. The number is wrong down to the dollar. Maybe the first number's right. Maybe the second number's right. After that, it's wrong. So your job is to be smarter than the people that own that house, respectively, and then guide them through a process to get the right number and guide them through a process of how you're going to get the home sold. I bring that up because one of the first points you need to say in the listing appointment is the market is going to shift between the time I list your home and the time I get it sold. What's the average days on the market right now for Pleasanton?
57. 57.
Is it 57? I looked up this morning. I thought it was 47. I was looking Livermore. Yeah, so Livermore is 47. It's probably 57, right? Okay, so does the market shift in that period of time? Particularly right now. If you listed something this morning, 57 days, you're looking at end of January, right? My math right there? Certainly after Christmas. And no, have you guys bought any Christmas gifts yet? I haven't. So things are going to shift. So in that meeting, you're going to convince your client that a couple things are going to happen. I have a game plan. I'm going to have the liberty to change it. We're going to talk about communication in a minute. But the market will shift while your home is on the market. And what I say to my clients is every week, I look back on Fridays and I say, what did we do that went well and what do we need to do different? Clients like to hear that you're grading yourself and you're trying to improve your own performance. But part of that review is what's going on in the market. Oh gosh, your neighbor's home went on the market. That's terrible. Or that's great. It's terrible if it's the same floor plan, it's 150 grand less and they just updated their kitchen and yours isn't. Now we have a pricing problem. It's great news if it's flip-flopped. So part of your message is you're going to continue to review your results and including the pricing and strategy of the house. So I casually mentioned this house in Dublin that I'm going to list in February. And we came up with a price for it 4 months ago. And part of my speech there was, I don't know what the thing's going to be worth in February. We're certainly going to look at it together at that point. It could be worth more. It could be worth less. So as we go through this basic process, and we'll craft them all out here. Typically, it can take 20 to 30 days or even longer to get a home on the market, right? You get a house, most homes, you know, if the clients could afford it, probably need paint, probably need new floors, maybe need some landscaping. You got to get contractors, you got to get them in there. If it's permit related, now you've got some longer delays there. By the time you do all that stuff, after all the repairs, then what? Staging, then photos, and then marketing. So there's 5-6 weeks, right? So a lot of things can happen during that period of time. So one of the things that I do is definitely communicate that the market will shift. And we'll talk about that. Any questions so far?
Do you recommend to get the inspections done for the listing or you would wait?
I always do inspections. And this is actually per textbook, but I think it glosses over it a little bit. So I love to build an offensive case. So I can't stand low ball offers. So you've got a listing. I much prefer to come in. I set up a whole strategy here where we control the shots as best we can. I don't want to sound arrogant. But it's so much better if you come into a house and there's a notebook on the counter. I'll tell you who does this perfect every single time is Natalie Swanson. You go into any open house that she has a notebook on the counter and it tells the story of the house. And if you were a buyer and you go, gee, honey, you know, we've looked at a lot of these houses. I like this house. It's Natalie Swanson. She's got it listed at $1 million. I really want to offer $825. I think it's only worth $825. I did a Zillow down the hall. It's $825. I'm sure it's $820. Well, let's do a low ball offer. So you have that thought. You go into Natalie's listing and you open this notebook and she's got seller disclosures. Super powerful weapon. Next thing is the home inspection. Next thing is the pest inspection. Next thing is the pool inspection. Next thing is the roof inspection. And then the next thing is the new inspections and all that stuff's been fixed. Okay, house is rock solid. That's the check mark there. All right. Okay, and then she's got the bio of the house. She's got all the copies of the permits. She's got everything you want to know about the house right there. Now all of a sudden it's getting pretty hard to really think about a low ball offer. And then if you ask her, we're going to talk about this a little bit, the scripts that come with that are powerful. You need to put something at $825 for $1 million house. You should go down the street. There's 3 homes on the market right down there. They don't have this kitchen. They don't have any of this work done. They didn't have the backyard done. They didn't have the roof repaired. You might be able to make an offer there at $825. This is a 1.1 home. That's what it's going to go for. And now it's not me versus you. It's the book. The book's the weapon. Absolutely. You always show your cards when you come into that kitchen. You have a story to tell. And even if the story is an ugly story, you know, we did all this stuff. There's $10,000 worth of pests to do. There's, you know, here's the home inspection. It's uglier than heck. We haven't done any of it. That's the deal. And that's why we've priced the home at $800 versus $1 million, because we think there's about 20 grand worth of home to do, and there's about 50 grand worth of pests to do, or whatever it might be. So again, don't renegotiate the price significantly because we've already done the work for you. Make sense? So and by the way, I don't know about you guys, but when I go into a house and when an agent hasn't done the work, when there is no book, when there is no inspections, it makes me think, well, what's going on? And I have one of those listings right now. I have one of those listings right now in Fremont where I haven't done any home, I haven't done any pest, I haven't done any roof, I haven't done anything. And the reasons why is we needed to be on the market in 2 days. So we did photos and we went live. That's it. That's all we've done.
Have the seller pays for home inspection.
Yes. Yep. So your client's going to pay for those, absolutely. And that's one of the things you should go over in the list in your listing appointment. Is, hey, you want to work with me? That's great. Let's get to work. And I put that right in the net seller estimate sheet right on Zip Forms. And I tell you, back to the listing appointment. That's one of the most powerful things you can do in the listing appointment. Very few sellers really understand what it costs to sell a house. What's it cost? Commission is what it costs. For who? Buyers and sellers. It's no fun. That's why when you're on the buy side, you say, I work for free. No, you don't. Yeah, I do. You know who pays my money? Seller. And I tell that story all day long and I laugh at it. When you work for me now, and we buy that 3-bedroom, 2-bath place over in San Ramon that you're looking at, I'm free. And then and I say this right to my client, and then I'm going to put you on a drip campaign for 5 years, and I'm going to swing by from time to time. I'm going to watch your kids grow with you. I'm going to bring a bicycle for them on their 12th birthday. And when you're ready to go to a bigger house and you sell this one, you're going to pay me. And they laugh, and I say, I'm serious. And it's a joke, and then it's true. So that net seller sheet is a powerful weapon for 2 reasons. Sellers don't have a clue. That's a very general statement. Some sellers are very smart and they know exactly, and they'll challenge you down to the penny. And others are going, what do you mean I need to pay my own report? What's a home inspection cost? Well, $300 to $350. What's a pest inspection cost? Well, $300 to $350. What's a separate roof inspection cost? Why do I need that if I'm doing a home inspection? What do you mean I got to do a separate pool inspection? What's that cost? $500? Holy crap, I got $1,300 in reports just to go live? No, we got a lot more than that. Hold on, buckle up. Oh, well, this is getting unfun. Well, what do you get? I'm paying you 5 or 6%. What do you give me for that? You need a 1-page, very clear document when you're sitting in that meeting that says this is exactly what you get with that, and it's exactly why you work with me. Okay? And what you get for that, let's talk about it. Questions so far? Okay. So you get a listing. Yay, you're going to celebrate for how long? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Good job. What are you going to do in the 11th minute?
Get to work.
Let's make a plan. Okay, so we got a house on 123 Main Street. The seller wants top dollar. Shocker. Top dollar. Gosh, I hope that's not a permanent pin. Sure looks like it. Top dollar, and they want it sold in how long?
30 days.
30 days. You guys want to go with 30 days? Do you? I mean, that's real. What do you think?
Sure, let's start.
30 days. Okay, good. All right. Does that change stuff?
Yes.
Right. Because what happens, right? It's time versus money. So you can go like this. If this is dollars and that's time, right? So when the seller says 30 days, what do you say?
Why do you want to sell in 30 days?
Yeah. How important is that? So I say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, so we just talked about price. Back in my listing presentation, I give 3 flavors of price. One of them Zillow, because I want to prove that it's wrong. And why am I doing that? Because I want to be an industry expert in that room. I want to be gracefully, kindly, a good servant. And I want to show him that, wow, no, he's a good servant. He's also smarter than I am. Yeah, it would be good if he sold my home. That'd be great. I didn't realize that he thought it was 150 grand more than mine. That's smart. I didn't realize he just showed me 2 examples where he put 20 grand into a house and sold it for 150 more. I'd like to give him 20 grand. And then he can crank up my price 100 grand. That seems smart. So say that again. If I give you 20 grand to make those repairs, you can get 150 grand more, and you've done that 6 for 6 times? Oh, okay, so do you want to walk back through my house again? Mm-hmm. You want to take that tour a little bit more serious now? Uh-huh. Make sense? So the 30 days is huge because we've already talked about price, we've talked about condition, and we say, well, wait, so we said the home was worth, so we just say $1 million? Keep it simple? So $1 million. So let me just ask you. So we talked in general. We need to paint it. We're going to throw some carpet in it. We're going to stage it. We're going to photograph it. We're going to do virtual tours. If the home's big enough, we're going to bring in the drone because you're right next to the city library. I'm in walking distance. It's going to be great. Here's some examples of how we've done that before. I pay for all that. You're going to pay for the repairs. I'm going to pay for the rest of it. Oh, okay. So that's a pretty good chunk of change. Yeah. So I'm not in the business, and I'll say this, I'm not in the business to list your home. I'm in the business to sell your home. It does me no good to take photos of your house for $485, to stage your house for how much a month?
3,000.
Yep, 3 to 4 grand a month. So this is going to get unfun really quick, right? Let me just do the math. Basic commission, let's just say 20 grand. If I have to stage that house for 4 months, what the heck am I doing? Going broke, that's what I'm doing. So you have to get very good at this and be in control of your dollars and what the game plan is. So I like the fact that he said 30 days. Okay, good, great. I'm not going to stage the whole thing. You should know that. I'm going to stage the living room, the master bedroom. The rest of it's going to be unstaged. I'm going to create an environment where regardless of what kind of family comes through the house, they're going to see that's a room for a little kid, or that would be a great den, or that could be something else, or we could knock out this wall and do this. I actually have a quote for that in my book, like Natalie Swanson. Think about future remodeling of the home, and here's what we can do for less than 20 grand. Whoa, really? A licensed contractor put that together? I told you I wanted to take that wall out, honey. That's great. Natalie, can you help me with that? You bet she can. Now what has she just done? Form a relationship with the buyer that she can add to her database for free. So the 30 days is a great weapon, right? Because we're aligning on this. So you want $1 million, but you want it in 30 days. So how do you handle that? What's your question right out of the box?
Sorry, what's the question?
How would you handle that with the client? So I would role play with that. So we get to day 15. Everybody know Liz Venema? Okay, she works at Office 459. She's one of the mega agents in the office. So if you pick like the top 10 agents, she's always in there. One of her famous lines is, "Okay, we'll do it your way." Now, does that feel like we're really going to do it his way? Okay. Okay, and I've heard her say it. She pauses. Okay, we'll do it your way. We'll list it at $1 million. You want it done in 30 days. If we don't get the traction that I think we need in the first 2 weeks, we're going to reprice the home. Because what you just told me was 30 days was very important to you and your family. Okay? So here's a document that says that. And we're going to meet in 10 days. And if I don't have X amount of traffic coming through here, I know that I'm wasting your time and I'm wasting my time and we're not going to get the home sold. So I need you, and you don't have, if it's me, I will say it about like that, and then I'll say, you don't have to make that decision right now, but I do want you and your spouse to talk about that tonight and really think about where we're at in 10 days, 15 days, and 20 days. And is it the time that matters or the price? And we're going to have about 4 things we need to talk about tomorrow, so let's add that to the agenda. So right there, I'm making an agenda. I became a project manager, not necessarily a realtor at that point. And I'm going to guide you through a step-by-step process to get your home sold. Okay, make sense? All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to define definition of done. What are we trying to accomplish? You're trying to get the home sold in 30 days for $1 million. You've updated the MLS that it's going to be 5% commission. Buy side's going to get 2.5. You're going to get 2.5. Okay, everybody all in? All right, who's going to stage the home?
You try buyer seller to do it.
Totally. It's all open. It's totally negotiable. We have some agents that say, you stage it. I'll bring the stager over. I'll settle up the appointment with you. You pay for it. Now, I'll walk around. I'll be the consultant. It needs to look like this, so it works for any kind of demographic family that's going to come through, but it needs to be staged. And I can work with you on pricing. You'll get my pricing because I use these guys all the time. And if you want to use somebody else, I'll bring in somebody else for comparative pricing, but you're going to pay for that. And some clients will go, okay. And other clients will go, well, what's the 5% for again? How about we split that? Okay. But wait, you said 30 days. So if you're only doing this for 30 days, that's going to be $2,500. You pay for it. Okay? And they may say, well, let's split it. Okay, great. After 30 days, because you said you only wanted 30 days, it's yours because that stuff's going to be gone. So that's the deal. So 30 days. Okay, great. All right, so repairs. So we talked about let's get your home prepared. So this is when I go through the offensive script. People are going to come in here. We want evidence that the home is worth what we say it's worth. So a lot of this is scripts. So I recommend you build that book. I can get you a copy of a book that we build. You can get a copy of a book that Natalie builds. But it's got all the inspections. If you pick the right inspector, a home inspector, they'll come out and inspect the home, tell you everything that's wrong with it. How many people have gone through home inspections? So, they all start to look and feel the same, right? It's 30 pages of this doesn't work, that doesn't work, this doesn't work. A lot of good inspectors will come out after you've done the work and give you a post-inspection. Here was before, here was after. And that's awesome because it's like, whoa, all that stuff is gone. Okay, great, good. So somebody did a lot of work. Pest inspection, same thing. You've got section 1, section 2, section 3. Just about every pest company now will give you prices for that stuff so you can get it fixed. They'll also issue a section 1 clearance. So you've got evidence that stuff is resolved. The other thing you put in there is you put in comps. Here's how I came up with the price. A good agent comes into the door. Gee, Rob, how'd you come up with $1 million for this home? It seems high to me, or it seems low. Well, here's the comps we came up with. It was 45 days ago by the time we did all this stuff, but maybe you come up with different comps, but the client is expecting a market-driven offer, and that was the work we did. You've got the same license I do. Feel free to have at it, but probably going to have a lot of the same data that I have. Does that make sense? Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to build a plan. And that plan should start with inspections. That plan should be to build that book. That book becomes your shield in a battle. Right? Somebody's going to say, well, your home's worth $900. No, it's really not. And here's why we priced it that way. Here's why it's a home that's ready, move-in ready. Here's the work that we've done. Here's the permits that have been associated with the home. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to work with the client for repairs. One of the services that I offer, and I say this, and it seems to make a difference in my listing presentation, so you may want to try this one too. If you work with me, you'll never call a contractor. Now you guys can say the same thing. Do you know why? Because what?
Will we be making this one?
Yeah, you'll be making them, but we have a list of certified contractors for you guys. So, somebody has a landscaping problem, grab that contractor list and we can send it to you if you don't have it. Call them. Now, how frustrating is it to get a contractor, get them on time, somebody that's trustworthy, somebody that offers a good price. So, for me, I look at a house and go, today this home's worth $700. Here's a true story. Home on Santa Rita. A client called us and said, it's an estate home. My sister passed away. Please just help me sell it. I just need to show the courts that it's market value and sell it. And Jen and I looked at the home and was like, gosh, we should buy this house. This home is literally right across the street from Amador High. And like, and we're looking at it and we responded back, it's funny. I'm typing this email and Jen's looking at it and we're laughing. It's like, and my email is, please don't make me sell this home at this price. We can get so much more for you. And he says, oh yeah, for 400 grand you can get another 70. It's like, no, we're thinking 40,000, you can get another $300,000. Because it was really beat up. It was a rental for years, but the location and the bones of the house was phenomenal. So in that case, hang on. Give me 10 minutes. Let's talk about the home inspection. Let's talk about the pest inspection. I want that data back. This is how I'm talking to the client. I want that data back. Let me walk a contractor through here for you. Here's 2 photo albums of 2 other homes that we did this exact same thing with. You guys can use those photo albums. We're all the same team. Here's what it started. Here's before and after of the living room. Before and after of the kitchen. Before and after of the backyard. And you know what we spent on that one? Here's the invoice. $27,000. And we went from this to that. So we walked through his house. This is what we recommend for repairs. Here's the invoice. Really? Yeah, no, here's the contractor. Here's his name. And this is his invoice. So the contractor would report to you. I'll project manage that contractor. And what we'll have before and afters in that book. And we're not going to sell at $800. We're going to sell at $1,100. And you're going to spend $47,000 to do it. Now you're becoming an industry expert. Now you're becoming somebody that's changing the game for that family. Does that make sense? So that's the repair piece, okay? So then after repairs are done, then it's time to stage, right? Yes, ma'am?
Is it a good idea to have the inspector come back before you stage it, or is that kind of at the same time?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, as soon as I have all that construction work done, even sometimes as I'm having it done, I'll bring back that home inspector and say, come on in and take a look at this stuff. We've got one thing left, and give us a before and after. Absolutely. Go ahead.
If they can't afford the upgrades and stuff, is it something that you can take out of their, I know Compass does?
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of our competitors are doing that now. It's something that we're going to officially roll out at the start of the year, where we're going to be able to offer a similar program, whether it's deep cleaning the house, just changing out carpets, or moving a wall, whatever it might be. Those transactions are going to get a little bit more complicated, and we're going to walk you through them in that we're going to put a lien against the house. I mean, it's pretty serious money, and we want the contractors protected. So yeah, that will be something that we offer.
All agents or just the luxury?
I think it's going to be all agents. Yeah. And, the thing that we looked at is, in our area, people are house rich and cash poor. And I looked at the deals that I did, and just about all of them. I even look at my house. It's like, look at any house. You can put 50 grand into a house if you want to, right? You look around and go, you should paint this. Like, I just painted it. Well, you should paint it again, or, how'd you come up with that carpet? It's like, well, it looked right at the right time. So just about every house you walk through, and that's why, as you're walking through, I want to back up here for a second. You go into that listing presentation. You've got your book. First thing you do, you set that down. Could you take me through your house? And the comments you make during that tour immediately set you apart from all the other agents. What you don't do, and I used to do this all the time, Jen would say, knock it off. I would over-compliment. The kitchen's gorgeous. It looks so good. I'm thinking, oh. Your backyard's lovely. Like you could use a goat to trim that down, but it's okay. You can put a fence there, it'll be fine. And you want to be respectful of somebody's home. But what did I just do? I set myself up for a $2 million home when it's worth $750, and it needs 50 grand to repair. How do I start having that conversation now? Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but you get the point. So, what are the comments you make? I like the light in this room. This makes sense. I can sell this to just about any kind of family that comes through here. Did you know it's my job to have a script for every family that comes through this door, whether they have a bunch of kids, whether they don't have any kids? Did you know it's my job to be able to cast a vision that, I know the room is brown right now. Do you know what this room would look like if it was white and we changed the flooring? How many clients leave a house because, it's not what we want. Well, what do you want? 3 bedroom, 2 bath? Stop! That's what this is. Yeah, but it's, the floor. We could change the floor for you. Excuse me, ma'am, I don't know who your agent is, but the first thing you should be looking for, I know your agent isn't with you, the first thing you should be looking for is location. Maybe schools are important. Are there other things that are on your list that are important for you? Yeah, we really want an open floor plan. This isn't open. Okay, that's fine. There are 14 homes on the market in this price point this weekend. I've got a list of them all for you right here. Would you like to see them in what order in terms of open floor plan? I've got that sorted for you because I'm expecting that question. And that's how you're going to talk after you have the listing. And that living room is your domain. You're the smartest person in this market now. If I use the term babysitting or selling, are you babysitting your listing or are you selling it? And I always get a kick. Somebody says, Rob, can I host one of your open houses this weekend? Sure. At about 1:30, what time does open house start? Where's the lockbox? I'm not working with me again. And about 2 o'clock, what were the annual taxes last year? Excuse me? You know what that tells me? Yeah, somebody walked in, so I like this house, but what would the taxes be? I don't know. I'll text Rob. No, you won't. So you need to be very proactive and very anticipatory of the questions that are come up. Does that make sense? So it was a long answer too. Absolutely, we're going to launch that program in January. Sorry, I got off on
what program is that again?
It's going to be a concierge service is what we're going to call it. And then, again, you're going to customize it for each client. And the trick there is, what we say is, we're going to ask you to invest $1. We need to give you $2 back. So, we've got a lot of work to do as we roll this out, as you can imagine, because it's easy to go in and do a bunch of remodel on a house, and the general family coming through could care less. So when you look at the remodels that I did, you'll go, gee, Rob, you're so cheap. All those kitchens look like crap. Yep, they do. You know why? I have bad taste. Go ahead and say it.
It's cosmetics.
Go ahead.
It's cosmetics.
Yeah, because I don't want to guess. Because you can spend a fortune on kitchens. Cabinets right there, ka-ching, appliances. Appliances is pretty easy. Get some nice stainless long-term appliances in your set. Sometimes you need to spend that money, sometimes you don't. But the point is, you can spend an awful lot of money on a kitchen, and I set it up for an Asian family, and here comes, an American family. I go, honey, I just love this kitchen, I love this house, but this kitchen's brand new, and I hate to rip this out. I just don't like this. So we try to keep everything very generic, where it doesn't matter who comes through the front door, and you can see that, okay, you updated some old cabinets, and the floor looks great. I got that, and the paint looks good, and the paint's consistent all the way through the house, and the house flows good. I just need to do this and this, and we hear that, and we go, yeah, here's some photos of some things you could do. Okay, that's also in the book. Some very high-end kitchens and baths, backyards are right in the book that are the same shape and same size. Here's some other things we've done. After we've sold the home, we come back again and help other people update the home how they want to. So you need to be super careful with that. So part of what we're going to be doing there is, where is that 2-for-1 investment area at? Obviously, it's kitchens and bathrooms, and sometimes it's backyards, and sometimes it's curb appeal. Make sense? Okay. All right. So we build a plan. We get the repairs done. Staging the house. So we talked about who could stage it. We talked that staging's very expensive. It's a big job. There's a lot of liability with it. Do you stage every room?
Not necessarily.
Okay. What do you guys think about? There's a software tool for staging. So you look at the MLS and you go through a house online. It looks great. Every room staged. It's great. You get there and you open the door and it is absolutely empty.
So virtual stager? Yes.
Okay. A lot of people do it, and it works great. You just want to be super, super clear that that's what you've done. Because the last thing you want, so you've done that, and I'm showing up with my buyers, and I've talked up, we're going to see 5 homes, and maybe I didn't do my homework, maybe I didn't see them all first, and this is I've done this. I'll say, this is the dark horse. This is the one you're going to love. I waited for last, and it's going to have this and this and this, and I open the door, it's like, dude, you idiot. So don't surprise people negatively. Always surprise them positively. So under promise, over deliver, right? Every single time. That book, when you show that to a client, one of the things that I say in my listing presentations is, you know, at the end of this, I don't want to thank you. You can give a review on Yelp or Zillow if you want, that's fine. I only want one thing.
You're satisfied.
What is it, Rob? Oh, okay. I want one thing. I want at least 2 referrals. I want 2 names of people that are going to buy and sell in the next year. And I want you to tell them what kind of job I did for you. And then I re-mention that after I have the book. Here's the book we made. We did this, and we did this, and we did this. And I can't wait for, and then I go through a few scripts with them. I can't wait for somebody to come in and give us, say the house is worth $925. You know what I'm going to say? And I'm more excited about it than they are. I'm going to say, holy cow, try to find something wrong with this house. It's great. We did this, we did this, we did this. You know, here's 6 comps of why it actually is going to appraise for probably 20 grand more than this. We get it sold at this price, the buyer's going to put 20 grand equity in their pocket. Isn't that awesome? Seller might say, well, raise it for 20 grand. No, that's not what we said we'd do. We said we were going to give you a great investment. We're going to get it sold in 30 days. That's what you wanted to do. Did you want to change that definition of done? No, we do need to get to Oklahoma City. Okay. All right, well, let's do that. Make sense? Okay. So we've got it staged. Now what?
Market.
Let's do some photos, right? Okay. That staging, I don't want to gloss through staging too quick. Staging is so important. And if I'm terrible at anything, I'm terrible at a lot of things in life. I'm terrible at staging. Anytime I think I've got a house ready, Jen will come over and she'll go, no, you don't. Do not take pictures of this tomorrow. It's like, but honey, I'm ready. No, you're not. And she'll spend another 2 days in there helping me. And it's like, oh, that's what they're supposed to look like. And you know, it's the little touches that mean so much, that really brings a house to life. So pick a stager that's going to, you know, we're not talking about throwing a couch and a chair and a lamp in a room. There should be some books, there should be some napkins, there should be some great art there that speaks to the character of the house. There should be some throw rugs that go along with it that match the pillows on the other side of the room. When you go into the bathroom, the towels should be neatly rope. We tie our towels together with a little piece of burlap rope and put a little bow in it and then a little flower in it. I mean, so like when you walk into that house, it's like, it's so warm and cozy in here. I thought it was we did this to a $650,000 listing in Springtown. And we had a line of people coming through the door because of the photos. Talk about a mistake. So I underpriced the home, not intentionally. I thought, we'll never get this out of this. Thanks to Jen, we staged it. We took the photos of it. We marketed it. We did what we always did. And Brandon and I were there for the first week. We had a line of people coming out the door. I couldn't get more people into the house because we had a line of people at the front door. Like, this is just crazy. We ended up selling it for $55,000 over asking in 3 days, which is bad. Why is that bad?
There was more potential.
What's that?
Means a good price.
Yeah, it's possible. Why else is that bad? Thanks for that reminder. Because you're an idiot. Go ahead and say it. And why are you teaching this class? I have no idea. I drew a short straw. Why else is that bad? Was that my plan? Bad plan. Okay. Why else is that bad? What should your plan be? You have a generic plan to sell a house. What should that plan include of to really get an A+ to go, man, I just nailed that one. Every time we talk about 1, 2, 3 Main, I get so pumped up. I did that one. I did everything right. Sell the house at market, grow your business, grow your reputation, meet some great people. How about that? If it takes too long to sell it, that's not good, right? Like, are you ever, every time I've driven to Safeway for 3 years, I keep seeing your sign on the corner. What is your problem? So it's like, whoa, is that a bad agent? They have a bad plan, right? I mean, it's like that car alongside of the road that needs it washed and the tires are flat and it says for sale. It's clear it's been there for 4 years, right? So that's bad. The reverse of that, selling in 3 days, what did I do?
You use the market.
What's that?
You didn't meet anybody, didn't get leads.
Right on, Dave. That's what I'm talking about, right? So I'm sitting there with 3 offers on day 3. What's my fiduciary responsibility?
To present.
Yep. because what else was missing from my plan? I could have set an offer date. I could have told the world, this is what's going to happen. I do that with a superhero voice. I'm much better after a margarita. I could have said, 2 weeks, here's my favorite game plan, if it's a generic level playing field, but I change it every time because I want those buyers to come in. I want new agents. Oh, it's Rob. I bet he's going to say something stupid. I can't wait to go talk to him. I want people to come in. I want that Saturday and Sunday. Are you a buyer? Are you working with an agent? You got a ton of scripts there. I want to outsell the rest of the market. I want to say, did you like this house? No, great. Go see 4 others. Holy crap, that agent was so helpful. Where's your agent? What? Are you working with an agent? I don't ask that. Who are you working with? The people that are working with an agent, they love them so much, they always say, what? Can't remember his name.
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed he's not here today either. But maybe he can tell you that there's 14 homes that are just like this, and here's the sort for open floor plans. Or here's a different sort for backyards that are bigger than 4,000 square feet, in case your kids want to throw the football around.
So on the open home where you have them sign in,
Mhm.
that question, you don't ask, are they working with an agent? You ask, who
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
your agent?
Mhm. Yep. And I'll ask both. I mean, and I want you guys, I'm very situational. If we had this last open house we did Sunday, Jen was nice enough to drop what she was doing and come with me that day. And I was joking around with her at the end of the open house. I said, which was your favorite family that came through today? And we both said the same family. It's a family of 4 from Taiwan. And they had 2 little kids, and the mom was teaching them English. Not only was she teaching them English, she was teaching them manners. And so, kids come in, I'll say, first, loud voice, thanks for coming, how you doing? It's great to meet you. And then right then to the little kid, how you doing, young man? How you doing, young lady? I'm doing fine, sir. How are you? It's like, that's awesome. It's like, that's great manners. I said, holy cow. So I turned back to the mother. That's so cool. She says, yeah, we're working on their English. I said, can you help me? I mean, their English was perfect. So gracefully, do you guys have an agent, is what I asked them in all transparency. No, we don't. Okay, what do I say now? Where's my card? But if they do, oh, that's great. Who is it? Is what I'll say. That's great. Who is it? Because if it's you, oh, that's great. She's so awesome. She's going to take great care of you. That's great. You've got a great agent. I always say pick somebody you trust. And then I'll leave them alone. And then I'll get back to my job. And then by the time they walk through the house, did you stage this? Well, my wife did. I suck at it. But, wow, we are thinking about selling our house. Well, I thought you said you had an agent. Well, we have an agent for the buy side, but we haven't picked somebody to list our house yet. Could you do all this for us? Yep. Okay. So you let your services sell yourself a little bit. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So the staging piece, and I can't overemphasize making a custom plan. One size doesn't fit all with houses, right? Like the last 3 homes I did, they've all started looking the same. And it's like, and Jen went, well, what are you doing? Like, well, they all kind of had the same floor plan, and we did the same colors, and I caught myself going to the same general contractor, going, remember how we did 1, 2, 3 Main? Do that again. I'm busy. And it's like, it didn't really lighten this living room the way it did the last one, because the last one was arching ceilings, and this one isn't. And we staged that one the same, and it should have been staged, this is a country home. The last one was a Mediterranean home, and so you want to really bring that to light. So when you pick a staging company and you pick a stager, there should be a overarching theme of how that home comes to life. One of the things that you should be thinking about is you are selling a lifestyle. You're not selling a piece of property. And that piece of property is just supporting that lifestyle. So one of the games that I like to play is, got a listing, did all the work, I'm going to make a bet where the family's coming from and why they're going to buy this house. And I make that bet right here. So we're going to keep adding to this plan. I make that bet right here. Because that helps me start thinking about what repairs I may or may not do. It helps me start thinking about how I'm going to stage it, how I'm going to photograph it. And we haven't even started talking about marketing yet. Now, I don't over focus on that, because if I'm wrong, now I'm got the whole plan going in the wrong direction. But 8 times out of 10, you're going to get pretty close on who's going to buy the house. It's not rocket science. The house in Springtown that I mentioned, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, priced it at $650. We sold it for $725. That is a beautiful, amazing starter home with a huge backyard and RV parking. You can't get that anywhere. I'm going to get that family probably from Fremont, or probably from Hayward, or probably from down south. And it's going to be a family that's probably renting right now, and they're probably renting at $4,000 a month. So who am I going to have there? I'm going to have a banker there with a bank term sheet to go, part of my script, are you renting it? Oh gosh, I can save you $800 a month as you're paying on your mortgage. You can? Yeah. What are interest rates right now? How much?
4.
Yeah, I got a client this morning that closed, that locked at 325. 325 for 1.7. Yep. So cheap money, right? Okay. Okay, so staging, super important. Okay, after stage, then what?
Photos.
Photos, okay. Let's take some photos. All right. Give me some examples of some photos that you've seen on MLS that were very clear and not professional.
Using iPhone.
Yeah, yeah.
The one with Celeste just posted it. The one with
That wasn't realistic, right? Be careful how you say that.
sorry, the toilet was like in the wall-ish.
It was what?
Like the toilet was kind of partially covered by the wall.
Love it. Love it. Good.
Yeah.
Or someone takes a picture of like a piece of furniture and you can't even hardly see the room.
Yeah.
It's like, what
Yeah.
are you buying? The bed or
Totally.
the house?
Totally.
The
That's right.
lighting's terrible.
Yep.
You can't really see us in the dark.
Yep.
All the pictures.
Yep.
Missing the floor altogether means
Yeah.
I was looking at some of the houses and
Mhm.
they have just taken all the photos which is missing the flooring of the house.
Mhm.
Either the flooring is terrible, that's
Mhm.
why,
Mm-hmm.
or they don't know how to take pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So we've all seen them, right? And you can tell in a heartbeat, even with your phone. I mean, phones take awesome photos. It's the user, right? It's like everything else in life. It's not the car. It's the person driving it. It's not the phone. It's the person using it. So do yourself a favor. $350. You know, we get a discount on some of the best photographers in the area. If you don't have that information, let me know. We'll send it to you. The folks that I've used, thanks to our office, I email them. I'm so sorry. I need photos in 2 days. And I just changed my photography company, and I used the same person for 2 years, and I thought they did a good job. And the people I'm using now, when I get these photos, I almost have to call them to go, could you not do such a good job? Because one of my pet peeves is you get online, I just want to know what I'm looking at. That's all. If it's a piece of junk, I can handle that, and I can decide if my client wants to go in it. That's fine. Don't tell me it's a Taj Mahal when it's average, or it's a piece of, I just don't oversell, right? So don't make the living room look like I can play basketball when I can't. You know, that's all, right? But these guys do a phenomenal, accurate job at a very great price, and the response time's great, and they do a virtual tour that goes with it. So you have almost no excuses to get phenomenal photography, and that's super important. So one of the things I say back in the listing presentation, so I have one sheet of why work with me and why you should be happy to pay that 5%. That's what I say. And they're going, 5% of 1.1? Huh? I'm not happy at all. Well, first of all, I only get half of it, so however angry you are, cut that in half. And here's what you're going to get for that. So first of all, 2.5% of that comes to get somebody coming through your front door, and you don't want to cut that number. Do you know why? No? Because there are some there's buying agents out there that will go, it's only 2%, I'm not even going to show that property. So we need our property shown. That's customary, that's industry standard, that needs to happen. So 2.5% goes out the door. The other 2.5% comes to me. And what you get for that is professional photography. You get magazine grade quality photos, and it's a portfolio of pictures, and I use those for every marketing campaign that we launch. And we're going to launch all the customary stuff, all the flyers. Here's a box of flyers that we've done before. We're going to put those on Facebook. We're going to put them on a number of different social media campaigns. And we're going to launch those all the time. And sometimes I may do a one-liner on your backyard. Sometimes I may do a one-liner on what a great place to entertain at. Sometimes I may do a one-liner on if you have a fishing boat, you can park it here for a change. Wouldn't that be great? Sometimes I might do a one-liner on no homeowners associations. Wouldn't that be nice? You know, so every week is something different. I'm fishing and I'm going at it, and I use one of those photos every time. Everything we're doing in that book, we're highlighting certain things. Large master bath. We don't just say large, we give the size. Like, oh, this is big. Holy crap, that'd be great. His and hers master closets. You know, I mean, most people nowadays, you can't fit all their stuff in the size of master closets in homes that size. So photos are huge.
Can you give us the name of the photographer?
I can, yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll give everybody the contact information, yeah. Make sense on the photos? Okay, after you've got that done, then what?
Marketing.
Okay.
Science.
Yep. Let's go.